Hello and welcome to Darius Tabletop, and today we will take a look on how I paint a British Napoleonic Line Infantry, and I will give you general tips, and I will link down below some Warlord page, Warlord, how they paint it, and a few videos. I think it's Culloden Studios, where it's just speed paints and dry brush and a few tips. And I will talk in general how I painted these guys, and just give some general advice, what worked for me, what didn't work, what could work for you, and just some general tips and what worked and what didn't work. So I'm completely in love with the Napoleonic Wargames. It's super epic, and I think 28 millimeters just looks amazing. It is a work in progress, and I will show you a couple of minis. I will talk about, I think they are called the cufflinks. As you can see, these guys are blues. I think these would be Scottish troops, and this would be Irish troops. And if they would have the green ones, I think they would be British troops. You can check out, like, that's how they knew to which units they do belong. And as you can see, I'm a work in progress. I will also give you an advice on earth texture, but right here I just used for the bases PVA glue and sand. But yeah, let's get into this. So when you get the minis, I think you get, like, these ones are the Warlord ones, but I think the Warlord ones are pretty good, but they look all the same, and they're also a bit more expensive than these ones. So maybe I would give the advice to buy Perry minis, but doesn't matter. Let's get to the painting. So you could go different ways. And I will show you one. Like, when I got these minis, a friend traded them. I traded these, and as you can see, here the red, they were base coated red. So they were on a sprue, or the first two glued here on the base, which I think I wouldn't do. I would work on the base. And so my friend followed the advice. The first advice is the Warlord page advice. So back in the days, I think before contrast paints, the advice was give these guys on the sprue a red base coat, maybe like Mephiston red. As you can see, these ones in the front are different, these ones in the back I painted up with contrast paints. And so you have a red base coat, and then you'll go over them with your acrylics. And then I would suggest, if you go this way, you paint in, well, it's already primed red, and these are the Hanoverians, but then you go for the gray pants, and I used gray, for the same gray for most of my guys, as you can see here. And I used the Army Painter uniform gray. I liked it. It was pretty cool. One base coat over all the pants. You could also start, and here's where you can see the point. You can base coat these guys also in a gray, and then just work your way up, and maybe try contrasts, or maybe you go for normal acrylics. You could base coat. I wouldn't base coat them in black, but also a lot of stuff is in black. And I think I would base coat these guys probably in white and just go for the contrast paint. But there's a lot of different routes you can go. Warlord suggests, that's the Warlord suggestion, you prime them red, and then you put in the cufflinks, either in green or in yellow or in what else do you have? Blue, as these ones. And then you go for like skin tones and you go for the whites and you put in the backpacks. And these are already now glued on the base, but the idea is that you paint up each individually. For example, on a sprue, I had a sprue with like 1 to 2, 3 to 4 minis on a sprue. As you can see, it was like as long as this one. But you can also cut them off the sprue and just put them maybe on a cork or maybe on something like this. And you use like, what is this, like Patex, like this one. And yeah, and then you can keep it in your hand and paint them up. I was batch painting them, but a friend is kind of like painting 4 at a time. I did put the gray base tone for a whole squad, and then I went for the black of the boots and all of that. And so let me show you what you have to paint and where is the right place. So as you can see, there are different approaches. I would say maybe the best one is to go for a white primer and then put on contrasts. But yeah, I will link that video also down below. That's like tip number 2. To go for the speed paint and dry brush approach. And then there's also like the Slapchop approach where I think you have primed them in a mid-gray and then you dry brush with a white over them, so you get like beautiful highlights and you have a darker tone. And after that, you can then take your contrasts and just put that over. I didn't go for the Slapchop. I went for a mix of acrylics and dry brushing with speed paint. So I'm all over the place. But the things I will tell you will apply to all of the miniatures. So this is something. Yeah, what else? Then there is like the washes. The washes didn't really work for me. At a certain stage, yeah, it's not this one. I will clean it up. But the WarlordGames and the Slapchop suggest that you just put on the colors and then you put a wash and then you go over it again. And I don't know if that's super necessary. As you can see, I had like this gray pants. And after I had them gray, I went over with a wash and it darkened it up pretty much. Like the gray pants were kind of not gray anymore. And I wanted like this bright gray definitely to be visible. And also there is some staining there underneath from the wash. And that's okay. So you have different routes you can go now. I would suggest if you prime them white and if you go the contrast paint route and you paint everything with contrasts, the skin tones, the hair, like everything with contrasts, I think that would be very economic and not as taxing as probably painting the minis with acrylics. And I used the speed paints. And the Peachy Flesh looks pretty cool. Let me show you a Peachy Flesh face. And I used the palette bone for the bags. I will show you the bags in a second. Like here, I just had, can you see the bags? I just had them white, those bags. And then I went over it with a palette bone and maybe even a soft tone. I will show that in a second. Also, as you can see, one of the backpacks is just with palette bone. Which would be like a skull color. But most of the packs, I think, at least for the Scots Greys here, were kind of grayish blue. And yeah, going the speed paint route would be very good. Let me show you a face that was painted up with Peachy Flesh. I don't know if I can find it. what can I tell you? So for me, the best way to go for the pants and maybe to go for the whole miniature, or this is how I did it. I'm talking a lot, but yeah, the darkening up with the soft tones or even the dark tone, where is it? Didn't really work for me. So the soft tone stained it so that they kind of lost their shininess, or they are kind of beautiful, and of course they can be like muddy and weathered. Let's say they fought at Quatre Bras and then the next day they go to Waterloo, but you need to lighten those pants up again. And so I had this very, very good Vallejo Model Color light gray, and I dry brushed that onto the pants. And after that I did put a lot of white in that, and I dry brushed that also on. So going the speed paint route or the acrylic route, I think is good. Here you have like contrast, and here you have like base coat white and then washed it. So I have a bit of a difference, but that's where it is. I have also some hats that I kind of dry brushed. Where are they? Let me see. So here I went for a light dry brush for the hats, and as you can see, they are not yet all completed. But yeah, I would suggest the pants gray and then dry brushing it up with a lighter gray and a white. Then there are a couple of black spots, as you can see, and I used both. I used both acrylic paints, acrylic black from Army Painter, and I used the speed paints. And I think that's a matter of taste. The speed paints were kind of cool for the hats because it was just like one coat and one coat for the boots, and that was pretty amazing. And also you can see like they're wearing some gaiters and then some pants, and the gaiters were gray and the pants were gray. So if you're probably painting Peninsular British, the pants are white or yellowish and the gaiters are gray. But here it's just one and the same. Then if you speed paint them or if you primed them white, as you can see, like the bits of the backpack are white, and also the strap of the musket is white. Maybe it needs a bit of a soft tone, and it was to paint, how do you say, the upper part with contrast was pretty cool. Like one coat of red contrast, and it was pretty good. And what else? So you have the blacks for the boots, for the backpack, and also this little bag. Then I would say red for the upper part. Then somebody went for German camo beige or maybe buff for these bags. And you can also make them white and just go over with a speed paint. For the canteens or the water bottles, I used this magic blue. Like I just did put it on, and that's it. And as you can see, not super clean, but there is some brown thing going through that, and you have also some brown, let me see where I have it, mine are not completely. You have also here one thing that goes down to the back down here, should be also brown. And I have to say, I bought Warpaint Fanatics Barbarian Flesh, but I wasn't happy with this. Like it took a few coats, and also like the separation was pretty bad. I shaked it up. I wasn't happy with the Barbarian Flesh. I was happy with Cadian Flesh Tone and with Kislev Flesh, but not with this one. And I was pretty happy with the Flash Wash. Yeah, so over the Flash, I don't know if these guys have it already, but these guys got a Flash Wash. And yeah, it's pretty messy. But yeah, I'm just sharing what I know. And I would say if you can, yeah, try out the best you can. I'm just showing you, yeah, it's good if where the cufflinks are and the markings to make these like white. And also, if you can, maybe like it's hard to reach the hair once the backpack is on. So that was a bit not ideal. So maybe putting the backpack on very late. What else? Yeah, the musket, don't forget, the musket has a silver part. As you can see on the top, there is the barrel running over the musket. There you just need to go with a silver on a brush. I would say from the side, you lightly, gently push it up and push it down. And just, yeah, and there you have the barrel for your musket. And what else? So you have the canteen in magic blue. Also, there some of the guys on the back have these, I don't know if they are for drinking or for what they are. I have seen them, they should be in metal. As you can see, this round thing here. And then one has this thing up here. So they should or could be silver. And yeah, what else can I tell you? Let me put this one down. So that's pretty much what I also can recommend. Once you have painted up all the four, you put them down on the base. And again, I used PVA glue and some sand, which will do the job. But as you can see, I now have to paint the sand with an acrylic color. So maybe that would be a hassle, and maybe also consume a lot of my acrylic paints. So maybe I will use something from the hardware store, something cheap. What you could do is you could go for AK, Dark Earth, or Vallejo Earth texture, and then you have the color and you have the texture. And as you can see here, I missed a spot. But yeah, that could be a good solution. So with this Napoleonic, sometimes, yeah, you have to find how to do it. And I hope I could help you. It is a long and a wordy tutorial. It's not really how I painted things. They are out there. But again, I didn't find it helpful to put these ones in soft tones, dark tones, or something like that. I would maybe go the route with speed paints, some acrylics, and dry brushing. So we see us in the next video. See ya.